Alright guys, today I'm going to work on 3 hammers. All I'm going to do is probably clean up the heads on the wire wheel, blue them, and then clean the handles. Got less than $4 a piece in these hammers, and I'm cleaning up for one of the guys at work. I think that's a mason's hammer is what they call it. I've never used a hammer like this. I've done some mason work when I was a kid, but I was more of a laborer than I was anything else. I got 2 curved claw, and they're pretty old. I think there's a name on them, but I'm gonna look at it and all right guys, camera died, or card was full, I don't know what it was. Anyways, I reset the camera and everything. I'm gonna go put these on the wire wheels, clean them up. I'm gonna scrape the handles down, blue them, the heads, and just make them good, usable, clean tools. I don't know what I'm gonna do about this. This has got a damage. They like overstruck it and just took a chunk of wood out. It's not loose or anything like that, but man, I may wrap this with some wire, just and epoxy it. I've got something like piano wire. It's really super strong. It's like 1,000 or 12,000 PSI. It's really strong stuff. And then when I coat it with epoxy, it makes it even better. I might do that just to salvage this handle. All these hammers are going to be used for, these are just junk beater hammers. These will be used to tear things apart, break things down. And if the head comes off, or if they tear it up, or he tears it up, he's not out much money. Like I said, we got less than $4 a piece in these hammers. Someone's gonna say something out there in internet land of why are you doing that to a hammer. It's because they're cheap, they're inexpensive, and it's gonna be the same way with him. My tools, my rules. So he's the same way. Like, he does not like curved claw hammers. We don't use them. And I know he does some work outside the facility, and he's the same way. He used framing hammers is what he used. He's got a couple of S-Twing and a deadhead hammer that he likes. So anyways, let's clean them up a little bit, see what they look like. Well, while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and clean up this end of the hammer, this mason's hammer. Looks like that's the only end that was really used. This hammer wasn't used for much. All right, hang on a minute, I'm missing something. I was going to clean my belt with this, I don't know what they call this rubber stuff, but nothing fancy, just cleaned it up. I don't know how much of a point is supposed to be on it, so I'm just going to leave it like that. I have one like this, exact same hammer, and I use it this end for shaping metal. That's all I really use. I use it like a body hammer. So anyways, my tools, my rules. All right, to temper number 112 or 12B and shaped up pretty good. I don't think this was used. This one, man, it's a Belcamp trademark, Louisville. It's a B64720. I think it's a 20-ounce hammer is what it is. This is an old hammer. This one, it's just stamped with a D and stamped with a D on that side, so I think it was the owner's mark. If there was a mark, it's gone. So now what I'm gonna do, take a Dremel, clean down inside the claws, and then I'm just gonna scrape it. I'm just gonna scrape the wood down and then do some 220 sandpaper to it, and then blue it, the heads, and then linseal the handle. So I like scraping them. It's a lot faster than sanding, sitting there sanding all this stuff off. You can just scrape. A lot of times what's on these hammers is a lacquer or shellac, and it just scrapes off. Just scrape it down and then sand it with some 220 paper. Saves a lot of time, makes the handles look better. This one here, I'm gonna do a little work to that handle. It's split, so I'm gonna bind that one. All right, let me scrape these and we'll be back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this hammer handle is got a crack right down through there. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wrap it with some wire. And then after I get the wire wrapped the way I want, I'm gonna coat it with some 2500 PSI epoxy. Should hold it the way I want it to. I've done it before and it seems to work. This is probably overkill. Most people wouldn't do this, but I want to save the handle. I've got the time, and it ain't gonna hurt nothing. There's always a way to make things work. All I want to do is just save the handle. More than likely, the owner of this hammer overstriked something so many times he hit it, and of course damaged it. Is this the best way of doing it? No. Probably the best way of doing it would be to buy a new hammer handle and reset it. But you know what? If you don't have it and you just want to make something work, this will do it. Only thing I don't like is I should have unraveled some of this. Hang on a second. I'm unraveling it. That's what I'm doing. You could probably do this with paracord or anything. I've got this wire. I've had this wire forever, so that's what I'm using. Let me unroll it out. I'll be right back. Starting to rain again. I'm tired of the rain. All right, let me keep wrapping this, and I'll show you what I wind up with. It was a lot of work, actually. All right, I passed it through, got it wrapped all the way around. Need a whole lot, and I'm going to slide it under here. Oh, shit. Can't do it with my fingers. That's about as all I can get right there. See? Now I'm going to epoxy this real quick. Hang on a second. Let me clean up my mess here. All right, this is what I'm going to use. This DEFCON epoxy, 2-ton. I love this stuff. 2,500 pound epoxy works great. I use this stuff at work. It's kind of like carburetor cleaner. I like it. I use what I like. If I find a good product, quality product that works, I stick with it. Those of you that jump around, buy this or that, or once I find something, I stick with it. Saves me money in the long run. It's got a pre-mixing tube. Get the oil, the air out of it. And then it mixes as it goes. Hang on, I'm getting situated. And I just take a Now I've got cavities I'm filling with this stuff, so probably take the whole tube, because right here where there's holes, and for those of you who think this isn't going to work, it will, because those of you that bought hammers in the last 20 years, a lot of them are epoxied. The head doesn't even, the handle doesn't even fit in the head very well because they fill it with epoxy. Somebody out there is not going to understand what I'm talking about, but for those of us who know that the spaces and gaps are filled with epoxy, it's the way they do it at the factory. So I'm just pretty much doing the same thing. Now, why Why is my tube sticking now? Oh, duh, idiot. I forgot to take the lid off. There's a cap, a reusable cap on this in between the handle, and I left it in. Only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little dabble right down there and right there on the wire holes. I think I got plenty now. I'm just making sure I got all the wires coated. Every void and gap, I want to make sure I've got everything coated. I've got too much on here, but that's all right. That's how I repair a broken handle, and it works for me. I've done this before and it works. For those of you who want to try it, go ahead. Like I said, I buy this epoxy, I buy like a box. I think it's 6 of these in a box, and they last me a year or so. I mean, why waste a handle? The handle, a hammer handle, this octagon style is like 13, 14 bucks here where I live. So, and I got this material here, so it really is not that big a deal. And he's going to use these hammers. He's just going to abuse them anyways. I mean, for those of you out there who, you know, change your handles, that's fine. I do on hammers that I want to keep. I do not use these curved claw hammers. I just don't like them. It's just me personally. But there you go. Let's let this dry, and then we'll come back and blue the heads on them real quick. All right, guys. I'm gonna blue these real quick. First, I'm gonna clean them. You can use denatured alcohol. You can use whatever you want. Denatured alcohol, carb cleaner. I use carb cleaner because it evaporates so quickly. Denatured alcohol does too. For me, I keep carburetor cleaner around, so that's what I use. See, it's getting the dirt off. That's what I want. I want to get it clean. The cleaner, the better. Get your fingerprints off. Just get it as clean as possible. When you wipe it down a few times, you'll see the dirt. You'll see the trash. See, it'll get a little black there. I like the cold bluing just because it gives added protection to the tool that otherwise would just have paint on it, and I would rather have a good protection. In the paint, I don't mind spray painting them. The problem with the spray paint, especially if you leave them set in a drawer that has that black or that foam material, it has a tendency to cause your the metal sticks to that foam. That's what I don't like. Let me finish wiping these down and we'll come back and blue them. All right, sorry. I'm trying to do things in between the rain. The rain's loud, so. Oh well. Oh, forgot to clean the brush off. Hang on. All right. Oh yeah, this is taking bluing real well. I mean, I could have polished and made these look super fancy, but these are going to be working tools, and I probably could have just painted them and called them good, but I'd give them something nice. I mean, the kid's just starting out in trade, so. Everybody in my shop has some of my tools, so. Oh man, this will look good black. This is gonna look really good. Something like this, I could have used a cotton swab. Got trash on my brush. But I don't like using cotton swab or a piece of paper towel or something like, and the reason I don't like doing that is because usually it absorbs more than I need to use, if that makes sense. Anyways, I'll let that sit. Let me put a piece of wood under this, let it sit. Now let's do this one real quick. Remember, all I did was put a wire wheel to these. And for those of you that don't have wire wheels or, you know, little shop equipment, I have a lady friend of mine that she's collecting tools, doing tools, and she does everything with a Dremel. She says it takes longer, but she has the time. She enjoys cleaning her tools up. I made a monster out of her. She's hunting tools everywhere. She's going to the same pawn shops I do now. Got her going to the flea market. So that's why I say ladies and gentlemen when I talk to the camera, because I do have ladies that watch my videos. Usually it's the local ladies here in town that I know that, and I do have a couple of ladies that are married that they hunt for tools for their husbands now. They don't mind hunting tools when it's cheap, when you can buy them cheap. They just don't like buying full price for them. So anyways, get this out of the way. Look at that. Now, take a clean, dry towel and wipe it off. The other brand that I've used, I don't like it because you have to rinse it. And something on a wooden hammer handle, you just can't rinse off. like that. Now, 1/0, 4/0, I think this is 1/0 steel wool. Actually, that looks really good. The more the metal's finished, the nicer it looks. You'll see here on the bottom end of this where it's rougher. See that? See how that looks? See how that's flat? All right. Let me finish polishing these off with this steel wool and we'll come back and see what they look like. Okay, blued them, wiped them down with some 1/0 steel wool. I'm gonna probably, let's coat the wood first. I'm gonna coat the wood with linseed oil. And then I need to take some of this to work. I keep forgetting. Anyways, I'm gonna linseed oil the handles, and then I'm gonna use motor oil on the heads so the bluing will darken. The linseed oil once a day for a week, and then you're supposed to do it once a day for a week, and then about once a week for a month when you first put a new handle on. At least that's what I was told. I don't know if that's overkill, but who knows. Seems to work, so that's what I try to do. And then after that, once a year on your birthday month, coat all your wooden handles with linseed oil. All wooden handles. That way, your wood doesn't dry up, shrivel up. This used motor oil, I was using 3-in-1, but I seem to get pretty good, looks pretty good anyways with this used motor oil. And I'm just gonna let that sit. And actually I gotta leave it in the shop. So I'm probably leave the heat on in my shop and just let this sit in the shop overnight. And tomorrow I'll come back and put some more oil on it. See what it looks like tomorrow evening. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I was gonna show you this. It's been over 24 hours. And this is the ones that I oiled. These two I oiled after I blued them. I'm going to show you the difference. This is just blued. This one, I hope you can see, this is just blued, and this is blued and oiled. And there's a little bit, I can see a little bit of residue right there where it didn't completely dry or soak in or whatever. But I hope you can see the oil takes and turns it darker. It actually, and it looks pretty good. And also, I didn't linseed oil this handle. I just left it bare for right now. I just want to show you difference. I will linseed oil it. And I linseed oil this one, and there's a couple spots that are a little sticky still on this. And this one's soaked in, man, this one soaked it in really good. The linseed oil, it soaked it in. But look at the difference. I'm getting dirt on them already. But the hammers turned out great. I just want to show you the bluing. This is just blued, no oil, and these are oiled. And they're a little darker. I hope you guys can see it. I can see it. I can't tell on video if you can see it. And the epoxy, oh, it's solid as a rock. This stuff, if the handle breaks now, it'll break right here. And most of the time when these style hammers break, someone's trying to lift a pallet 2,000 pounds or something, and they're trying to use it as a pry bar, and these are not designed for that. You see people do it all the time. They're being idiots. That's not what they're designed for. I personally don't like claw hammers. I own one claw, curved claw hammer. Everything else is a framing hammer, straight. And anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and linseed oil this one, and I'm gonna take these to work tomorrow. I've got a little bit of linseed oil in a cup for him so he can finish wiping these down every night for the rest of the week. And they should be good. They should be good, usable hammers. And less than $4 in every one of these hammers. So less than 12 bucks for 3 hammers. And I don't think that's a bad deal. I mean, he may abuse them, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he probably will. This one, it's gonna take a lot of abuse. This one here, I have one identical to this. It's a 2-temper, number 12B. And I use this end here for shaping metal work. I do that. I like it. It just fits good. I like the short handle. This one's never been used by the looks of it. There was some use on the end here, but if you look, I fixed that. It looks pretty good. Bell Camp hammer is a B64X20. And I epoxied it. Use that, I call it piano wire. I don't know what kind of wire it is. It's hard as heck to break. You can't break it, you gotta cut it. So with that on there and with the epoxy, I don't think it'll be a problem. This one turned out really good. The only thing I don't like is it's a little sticky still from there's few spots where the linseed oil stick, and I'm wondering if maybe I didn't clean all the material off underneath. But the handle, it's an octagon handle, turned out really nice. I like that old school look like that. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to show you that. I'm sorry if the video's long. All my videos are long. I try to show everything I do, and I hope somebody gets something out of it. I just got off work. I got to hurry up and show this and download it. I got to cook some steaks. I got steaks I need to put on the grill, so I need to hurry up and get dinner ready. Ladies and gentlemen, give me thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe if you like, tell me what you think. I try to show, bringing old junk tools back to a usable condition. There you go. I think I did right there. All right, guys, y'all have a good day.